Hey guys, good evening. It's 10 p.m. here in Sault Ste. Marie, and I am downtown standing right in front of the Bush Plane Museum. I was over at the office and I saw that these guys had locked through, and I wanted to be sure I got them. In case you can't tell, it's the Arthur M. Anderson from Great Lakes Fleet. There's the Tower of History there. You're probably hearing wind noise. I'm feeling a breeze. Of course, it's late at night, so it's cold too. That's not helping. They're crawling along. They're going less than 2 knots, but the ice is actually, it's solid in the harbor, and we haven't had a lot of icebreaker action recently. You can see the searchlight there looking ahead for them. Hopefully they will be able to make it. If they can't, they will be sitting here all night the way the Munson did. We'll see how far they get through the harbor. The American Century has been having some serious issues trying to get into the lock for this very reason. Someone asked me what the issues could possibly be because no one else has had problems. The problem is that the lock itself is only 1,200 feet long, and a footer, like the Century, is 1,000 feet. So that only leaves you 200 feet of space in the front and in the back. And you've got to have some space when the ship is in there, and it doesn't take much for the ice to build up and then cause problems. If they end up pushing in ice chunks, they can't fit. The gates in behind can't close, the safety boom can't come down, and it becomes a very difficult, almost impossible thing to be able to do. And there's only 30 inches on either side of them as well. So if any ice ends up alongside, that wedges them in. That's interesting. Look at the Christmas lights on the Valley Camp's bow there. You can see they're still lit up in behind in the background. That's kind of cool. So the Century has tried a number of times and been unsuccessful trying to get in the lock. The Manitoulin came out and they tried to go in and it didn't work. So they are hoping now that the Anderson has come out that perhaps they will have cleared enough that they'll be able to come out themselves or go in themselves now. I guess that remains to be seen. They were going about 1.2 knots when I last looked. Oh look, more Christmas lights on the Anderson still. That's cool. So they're giving it everything they have because they want to get the heck out of Dodge here too. The only vessels left now after this one are the Dirk S. Van Ankfort Michigan Trader tug barge, and they are in the upper St. Mary's River. They went past Point Louise not too long ago. So they are here in town technically. The Century has to lock through, and then way later tonight, more like 4:35 in the morning, the Indiana Harbor will be at the locks and they will lock through. We'll see how much they have, how much difficulty they have in the upper river as the night goes on. Obviously it's getting colder, and when that happens the ice freezes up and that could end up being a potential problem. Oh, look at the lights on the stern end there at the fantail of the ship. They're blinking. Red, blue, red, blue, red, blue. Ha! I love it. How did I not notice that before? So the light here in front of me, I picked a stupid spot again. This is the light from the walkway. It's causing problems. It's a little better. I don't know if the Anderson's going to be able to do this or not. We'll have to see. Ugh. Even my camera's freezing. It's hard for me to even turn things to loosen them off and be able to move it up or down or around or whatever. That's Puller Stadium in behind there, the hockey rink on the right. They're coming up on the Cloverland Hydroelectric building now. We'll see the beautiful lights in the windows there. Earlier today I went out to Point Louise with the hopes of seeing the Manitoulin from Lower Lakes Towing coming downbound. The rafted ice has piled up a lot higher than it was the other day. So I was really hoping to get some shots with her coming down, but she checked down and was going 3.9 knots. And when I had checked as I was leaving, she was going almost 9. So that meant that by the time I got out there, she was still an hour away. And I couldn't wait that long. Thankfully, oh look at this. It's the Ojibwe supply boat. Thankfully, the CCGS Samuel Risley was out there, so I was able to get some cool shots and a couple of videos of them. So I'll post those as well. I missed the Manitoulin altogether. I was cooking dinner when they went past. But Captain Grattan got some great shots with the rafted ice and everything else, so I'll share those with you. So the Ojibwe can only go so far. So they stay put. And the Anderson continues to go very slowly, and as we have seen with a lot of vessels that have come through recently, they almost come to a complete stop at this point. So they can get their supplies done, and so it does take them a while at this point. They will only need a very minor amount to last them a couple of days, because they are at this point headed down just to Gary to unload. Actually, this boat is headed to Conneaut, so they'll be going down to Lake Erie to the south shores there, and they will unload in Conneaut, and then as soon as they are done, they will head to layup after that. Which I am sure they are all very excited for, because this is just about as much as most humans can handle. You can see the crane on the Ojibwe there. Normally they offload toward the stern end of the vessel, so they are just sitting there waiting, and when we get a little closer where the conveyor boom is and down there, that's where the crew will be, and they offload. The reason being engineering's back there and the galley is back there, and most of what they need would be at that end of the vessel rather than the forward end. I think they're afraid to even come to a stop, because who knows if they'll be able to get going again. At least it's a clear night. There's no clouds, no threat of snow, which is good. That's kind of cool, the Anderson's lights and the Valley Camp's lights. Someone was just watching them go by. You can see them pulling out there from the Valley Camp. I don't think they have lights at the end, no, just at the forward end. Well, we're going on 9 minutes already, and they aren't even beside me yet, so I'm going to stop this video now while I can. I need to have some battery left for when the Indiana Harbor comes later. They're going to be here in the wee hours, so I'm not going to sleep very much, so I can keep checking to see where they're at. So I hope you all have a great evening. We'll say goodbye to the Anderson for the last time this season. Safe sailing to captain and crew there. We will very much look forward to them being back here next season. Take care, guys. Have a great night, and I will talk to you soon. Bye for now.